তাহাতে কুটির শোভে আনন্দ সুখদা বসিয়া তথা গহ কৃষ্ণ নাম বসিয়া তথা কবে কৃষ্ণ দাস লোভে কবে কৃষ্ণ দাস লোভে চিন্তামণি মান রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত সদা চিন্তামণি মান রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত সদা মনসা মুরলী রাগা পশিবে দাসী কানে আনন্দমতি বো সকল ভুলিব আনন্দমতি বো আনন্দমতিব সকল ভুলিব আনন্দমতিব শ্রীকৃষ্ণ বংশীর গানে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ বংশীর গানে চিন্তামণি ময় রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত শতা রাধে রাধে বলি মুরলী ডাকিবে মদিয়া ঈশ্বরী নাম রাধে রাধে বলি মুরলী ডাকিবে মদিয়া ঈশ্বরী নাম রাধে 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 বলে মুরলী ডাকিবে মদিয়া ঈশ্বরী নাম রাধে শুনিয়া চমকি উঠিবে দাসী শুনিয়া চমকি উঠিবে দাসী শুনিয়া চমকি উঠিবে দাসী শুনিয়া চমকি উঠিবে দাসী কে মনে করিবে প্রাণ কে মনে করিবে চিন্তামণি ময় রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত শতা চিন্তামণি ময় রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত শতা প্রবাল বিদো ময় তরুলতা প্রবাল বিদ্রোময় তরুলতা মুক্ত ফলে অবনাতা মুক্ত ফলে চিন্তামণি ময় রাধা কুণ্ড দাদা তাহে কুঞ্জ শত শতা জয় রাধে 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 continuation of Srila Gurudev's Glories. Almost all speakers spoke very beautifully, and by hearing from so many devotees, it gives so much inspiration. The inspiration to follow the footsteps of Srila Gurudev, which is more important than anything else. So today I request Sachinan Prabhu from Houston. Gurudev used to stay in their house. Their parents were serving Gurudev from so many years, since 96 onwards. And he was a young boy when Gurudev was staying with them. And he has so many memories. Please share memories along with the speciality and the contribution of Srila Gurudev. Yes, you know so much. Might be nice. You're so humble. Should be some lesson to encourage you.
So as by the order of Maharaj, he has ordered, he has shared some history about Srila Gurudev and our experience with him. So Srila Gurudev came in 1996, as many of you probably know, to the west, and in Houston was his first stop in America, and it's a very interesting story. I don't know how he came, and he somehow, some way, very due to his extreme mercy, came to our home in 1996, and I see many familiar faces here because many of you have come to Houston during Srila Gurudev's festivals. So you know that Srila Gurudev was very fond of coming to Houston for a few reasons. One is he, and maybe to the detriment of many devotees here, but he used to love speaking in Hindi in Houston, as well as we were very lucky because the heart doctor that he was very fond of, Dr. Mathur, was also in Houston. So for many, I guess we can say by hook or by crook, the devotees somehow managed to have Gurudev in Houston many times, sometimes multiple times per year. So probably you all know, whoever came, you saw me as a very young boy. So Gurudev came when I was 8 years old. And I can tell you very, very clearly that our family was like backwards, very backwards, very, very backwards. Just one instance I can tell you. Backwards means? Backwards means we didn't know anything. I mean, mostly Srila Gurudev traveled to homes of devotees. But in our case, we knew nothing. I mean, forget about, chanting regularly or anything, knowledge of even Gaudiya philosophy. But even how to treat a sadhu, how to honor, yes, we know some Indian culture, obviously, but I mean, that just shows how much asim kripa, how do we say? Extreme mercy by Srila Gurudev to shower upon all of us. So I remember when we used to go to the ISKCON temple growing up, and we were the kind of family that, you know, that family that shows up during Aarti time and then eats prasad and leaves? You know, the ones that all the devotees don't really like?
We all started like that.
We were like that, you know, 7 o'clock was Aarti, we'll show up at 7:05. We'll make sure to take 4 plates and 4 plates home, and that kind of thing, you know. But somehow, by the grace of Vishnu Prabhu, Sriman Vishnu Prabhu was a devotee in ISKCON also at that time. Many of you might know him. He was a student at the time when Srila Gurudev said, you know, I want to come to Houston. And by recollecting a number of other devotees' memories from Houston, so I'll just share how this happened. So Vishnu Prabhu obviously was very concerned because he lived in a very small apartment along with his wife, Aarti Didi. And he was a student at the time, so when Srila Gurudev said he was coming to Houston, Vishnu Prabhu was very concerned, like, how am I supposed to host in my 1-bedroom apartment? So somehow he had asked my father, can you host? And I don't know what happened, but my father said yes. And I'll share one very funny pastime, is that because, you know, you needed a visa to come to the US that time, we still do, but my dad had to write a letter to the consulate, you know, requesting that please issue a visa. So on that letter, and I remember I was 8 years old, and I went to the counter where that letter was sitting, and I picked it up and I read it, and it said, you know, my dad's name is Sushil. I, Sushil Agarwal, you know, invite Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Maharaj to the USA, and I take full responsibility for anything related to him. And I remember reading that letter, and I was like, you know, what is this? And I asked my dad, I said, well, what does full responsibility mean? And he said, Rida, if anything happens, we are responsible for this. So I'm guaranteeing. I said, Dad, how can you do that? How can you guarantee something for someone? And you don't even know who he is. How can you guarantee? He said, Rida, don't worry, you're too young to understand all this stuff. And so anyway, he signed the paper, and of course, Srila Gurudev came. And now I feel so silly, you know, that's how backwards my thoughts were at the time. Because who is taking full responsibility? You know, we heard from Srila Maharaj yesterday, about Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Goswami Maharaj, that when the, here it's so ironic, the disciple is thinking I'm taking full responsibility. But we know, obviously, that Shri Guru takes complete responsibility for us. All of you obviously have many, many times heard how many times Srila Gurudev said, you know, I will not leave you until I take you back. Right? Who can promise this? Who can guarantee this? Only Srila Gurudev. Only Srila Gurudev. To even have the authority to say something like that, we can imagine his position. So Srila Gurudev came in, and I'll tell you one other quick, short story, funny hopefully, is that we were told that, you know, 3 or 4 people will come and stay in the house for Srila Gurudev at the time. You know, Sri Madhav Maharaj, who was, of course, you know, the new Krishna Brahmachari at that time. And then there was Pundarik Prabhu, Krishna Das Brahmachari, and Vrinda Didi, and Rajnath Prabhu. So 4 or 5 people. So, you know, all of us moved into my parents' bedroom, and then each bedroom was taken. But of course, when my dad, you know, the 3 of us, me, my brother, and my mother, were at home waiting for their arrival. And my dad came, we had a minivan that time, so 6 people came out of the minivan. And then there was like 4 or 5 cars just coming after. It was like 20, 25 people came out of the cars, and we were like, what the heck is going on here? And again, our concern was like, where are these people going to stay? And of course, we didn't know how devotees were. They'll sleep under a couch, or we had a pool table, and they slept underneath the pool table, in the hallways, all over the place. And we were just so, what's going on? Like, who does this? And but what we learned over the years is how much attraction and how much seva bhav the devotees had for Srila Gurudev. He attracted everyone. It was like, we were in the beginning, the first stop, so it just kept growing and growing and growing as he continued from city to city. And even in Houston, our early days were like 10 people, 15 people. Imagine the kind of time we had with Srila Gurudev. And, there was no... So there was no restriction, like there's a schedule for when you can go and meet Srila Gurudev. There was no time limits, or speaking time limits or anything like that. And we would just be in the backyard, and Srila Gurudev would walk in the backyard, and we just sit with him. And I was expressing this morning, because all of you know how Maharaj walks really, really fast. And when Srila Gurudev used to do his morning walk, I was telling Prabhuji here, I was very lazy when I was very young. I wouldn't wake up at 5 a.m., to be very frank. But at 12, 12 or 13 years old, I started going on a morning walk, and Srila Gurudev was so fast. So fast. Imagine, you're a 12, 13-year-old, you have a lot of energy at the time. But Srila Gurudev was really, really fast. And you couldn't keep up with him. And one thing I would say that Srila Gurudev was very, very unique was that he was very loving and very, very... He became your family member. He became the grandfather of our house. And he loved us so much, so much. Like in a very affectionate way. Hard to describe, actually. And the way Srila Gurudev has transformed everyone's lives in Houston, particularly, I would say. And of course, I invite you all to come and visit the mutt in Houston if you haven't. It's Srila Gurudev's mutt. That means it's all of your mutts. And the way it has manifested is just amazing, every single step on how that mutt was manifested is very, very extraordinary. Any challenge comes, anytime you take Srila Gurudev's name, it's like everything is so easy to accomplish. And I think anyone who has met Srila Gurudev, or even if you haven't met him, we can meet him through his books, that what he came to give is extraordinary. And somehow by chance, I happened to be involved in the book seva. I play like this tiniest role where all I do is just make the shipping labels and ship the books to whoever orders them on bhaktistore.com. And in one sense, it's a really awesome seva because I can see who is getting books. And I can tell you that so many people who you would never think are really, well, I shouldn't say this. Anyone who is speaking anything about Radha Tattva, Gauriya Tattva, Mahaprabhu Tattva, they're definitely reading Srila Gurudev's books. Because without that, this would not be available to us. It's only by Srila Gurudev's mercy and his books that we have any semblance of what knowledge we have today. So many devotees are reading Srila Gurudev's books from all different sanghas, and it's really inspiring to see that because we know the influence of Srila Gurudev. Maharaj mentioned yesterday that Srila Gurudev said that after 10 years they will know what I have come to give, and we see that today. The last thing I will mention, just very quickly, is that just because I have the mic, I might as well take advantage of it. There is a program called Srila Gurudev Memories. Many of you might have heard of it. So many devotees, yes, in Hindi it's Srila Gurudev Ki Madhur Smritya, but in English, Fond Memories of Srila Gurudev. And I encourage all of you, we're asking all of you to be a part of that program, meaning if you have any memories of Srila Gurudev, please come and you can talk to me and speak on that program. Very, very, very beautiful program because devotees from all around the world are sharing their memories, and there's unlimited time. You get unlimited time. So 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever you would like to speak about Srila Gurudev, it's a really wonderful opportunity. So I would request any devotee who has memories with Srila Gurudev that they, you can talk to me or you can contact them as well. But I encourage, it's been so nourishing for me personally to hear all of the different memories that Srila Gurudev has with his disciples. And I would say every disciple feels that Srila Gurudev is mine. He's mine and he loves me the most. And what's amazing is that even when you hear that from another disciple, you feel very happy for them, but you still feel that he loves me the most. He loves me the most. This was so unique about Srila Gurudev. Like, he loved everyone, and it was like, you know how my wife and I thought of this example, that Krishna, even though he's one, in Rasa Leela he's running like 1,000,000 miles an hour, seeing all the gopis, and every gopi thinks that he's dancing with her only. Similarly, it's like everybody thinks Srila Gurudev is with them only. That's so, adbhut, extraordinary. So I would say, please, share your memories. And I wish I had heard the memories for the past few days, but I look forward to hearing whoever else will speak, because these memories are very, very nourishing. And if we can cry and our heart melts for Srila Gurudev, then definitely he will give mercy. Definitely. There's no doubt. Because he's so soft-hearted. He's so dayalu, so kripamay, so dinabandhu, ever well-wisher. So I pray to all of you, please try to participate in that program. It will be very nice to hear all of your memories at very, in length. So please let me know. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else who didn't speak? ज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishnamurtaya Tadabhaktaya Namo 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 Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayana Niti Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Katha Kripa Srimurtaye Srimate Gaur Govinda Goswami Niti Namane Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Shri Rupa Shri Sanatana Bhattaraguna Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasaraguna Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishnam Shtapetam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vadevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Anandalilamaya Vigrahaya Hema Padivyaschа Visundaraya Tasmai Mahaprema Rasa Pradaya Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Chaitanya Chandraya Namo Namaste Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dhanyavad pranams everybody. I'm sorry that I'm being asked to speak again when others haven't spoken yet. Hopefully I can keep it short for you all. I'm thinking a little bit when Prabhu was speaking to share memories. And last time I didn't share any memories at all. I was mostly like cold-hearted, Siddhanti. Tough, not so much memory. So I'll share one experience I had with Srila Gurudev. And it was really special. It was actually in Houston. So in 2005, Festival of the Golf Course, I was there with Sripad Maharaj. And I remember driving with Sripad Maharaj, and he said, "You know what Prabhupada said about this?" He said they invented this game so they could forget about God in their old age. This game, golf. So I remember we're at the golf course. I think, oh, Gurudev is transforming this golf course for everyone's benefit. So we met with Srila Gurudev, and Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj was telling me, it's your choice, no pressure if you want to get Harinam or not. He said, Srila Gurudev is very merciful. He'll accept anyone in any condition. He said, but you have to shave up. Otherwise, Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj won't allow you to get initiated. So Srila Gurudev will accept anyone, but Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj, he's the gatekeeper. So you have to shave up if you want to get Harinam. So then I ended up making that decision, okay, I'll shave up. And I was only 15. So shaved up, went for Harinam. And then Srila Gurudev was very affectionate. He was rubbing my head. And he was, freshly shaved head feels very nice. It's like best feeling. When it's deliberate, if it's naturally falling out, not so nice feeling. Not as enjoyable. But it's deliberate, then it feels really nice. So Srila Gurudev was rubbing my head, and he was being very affectionate. He says, oh yes, now you're my disciple. He was rubbing my back, now you're my disciple. And when I first had got there, I was initially, of course I had a relationship with Srimad Bhagavat Maharaj. I was so attracted to Aranya Maharaj, now Prem Prayojan Prabhu. But I never told anyone, only I told Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj that I felt that attraction. So then Gurudev, out of the blue, he points across the room, and he says, oh, Aranya Maharaj, very intelligent, you should listen to him. And then he looks at Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj, he looks back at me, he says, also your father. And so then I asked Sripad Bhagavat Maharaj afterwards, I said, did you tell Gurudev that I liked Aranya Maharaj? And he says, no, this is the sign of Guru, that Guru knows what's in your heart. He's external manifestation of Paramatma, so he knows what's in your heart. So no one has to tell him anything, he already knows. And so I was like, oh wow, 15 years old, feeling really like blown away by this, that he knows what's in my heart. So we should also, I feel, at least for me, that Sri Guru knowing what's in your heart also is a little scary to think about. Maharaj was speaking 2-3 days ago, that real sadhu is sadhu in seclusion, right? That sadhu in seclusion, this is the real barometer of sadhu. How you behave externally, you can dress perfectly, you can have pakka tilak, you can maybe even speak a few nice words, but then inside, alone, how is your behavior with your bhajan? How is your behavior with your family if you're in family life? Or how is your behavior with your near and dear friends, brahmacharis like this? What is that behavior? That behavior is the indication of if you're sadhu or not, when you're alone with your beats. This is real example of how you're a sadhu. And there, you're not really alone because Sri Guru is with you. So he knows what's in your heart at that time. So this is the thing to think about. When Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur was asked, how can one understand the concept of Akhanda Guru Tattva and what is Srimati Radhika's position? He said that those who are following in the first 4 rasas up to Vatsalya Bhav, they'll always understand that Akhanda Guru Tattva is Nityananda Baladev. But for those in Adiras, Madhurya Ras, aspiring for Madhurya Ras, then they can never see anyone but Srimati Radhika as Akhanda Guru Tattva. So this is the dynamic, that we're following in a line that the Shakti is coming from Srimati Radhika. Today we're celebrating like Shri Radhastami. So when we look at obstacles in our spiritual progress, we can understand that key obstacle is aparada. Aparada means that we're distancing ourselves from love and affection. Srimati Radhika is the embodiment and the source of all love and affection. So to distance oneself from love and affection creates an obstacle for us to be able to make progress. Generally we translate, oh, it means offense. But actually, if you think about what is this word, and if you understand Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's mood, that Srimati Radhika is the source of our entire Guru Parampara. So if we make offense, aparada, then we create distance between relationships with us and the Vaishnavas in our entire Guru Parampara. And that distance cuts off the flow of mercy. We're no longer able to capture that mercy. So it's a very dangerous obstacle for us to fall into that category. And it's also the easiest thing to fall into, inadvertently. One of the principles of Srila Bharati Maharaj that we were talking about on his tithi, his Avirbhav, was how he was saying he doesn't joke flippantly with anyone. So, and he would be strict about this in the month with his brahmacharis, that you shouldn't be so casual. You don't know what type of aparad you're going to make. But so easily we're making teasing with each other. We're thinking we're peers, we're friends. And in that teasing, 50 lifetimes, 100 lifetimes, 1 lifetime, 5 hours from now, that personality attains some very advanced progress, and that teasing is now an offense. So we have to be very careful with our interactions and our dealings with others, and always try to stay under the shelter of this Radha, Srimati Radhika, love and affection. And so Srila Gurudev was the embodiment of that. This is why he was so warm and welcoming with everyone. It's because he had fully imbibed this mood. He had transcendental realization of his relationship with Radha Krishna Yugal. He descended here from the spiritual world in order to share this high thing and put a spotlight on Mahaprabhu's mission. Unat Ojvala Rasa Svabhakti Shriyam. This mood was present at the time of Mahaprabhu. He was sharing very freely, and then gradually it was only talked about behind closed doors. So Srila Gurudev had this hankering desire that I cannot let this real deep mood of Mahaprabhu, the real purpose of his dissension, be lost. That it can't just be hidden away in some back rooms in Hindi or Bengali books. The whole world needs to have it. Srila Prabhupada broke down all barriers so the world could have access to this. And he left so many seeds throughout all his books hinting at this, and sometimes even overtly speaking about it. And then Srila Gurudev then took the magnifying glass and said, okay, look here. Now you can understand. What is the Gordavani Prachadane of your Srila Prabhupada? So this is another speciality of Srila Gurudev. So once you go through this
personally, when I was in publication team, I saw Srila Gurudev so much absorption in publication. He was very concerned what's going to happen to the world if the books of Goswamis will not be present. And it will be just hidden in Sanskrit language or Bengali language. How the glories of Goswamis books, in which the glories of Radharani and the mission of Krishna and the mission of Mahaprabhu is present. How the entire world will come to know about this. So Srila Gurudev used to say, produce my books immediately, quickly, as soon as possible. He was not resting and he was not allowing us to rest. Yes. What to say? One after the another. So many books. And then Srila Gurudev started saying, distribute my books. Before he used to say, what will happen by distribution of books if you don't read those books? But when he produced those books, they said, now is the time to distribute this. And let everyone know the glories of Radharani. Another point, I got inspired by hearing speakers. 2 days back I was explaining Srila Gurudev getting emotional of this swabhav, this nature of paradukhe dukhi, cannot see the sufferings of others. And sometimes many times he got emotional by speaking about the pastimes of Krishna. So back in year 2000 or 2001, Gurudev used to go every year to Jaipur and speaking Hari Katha in Shri Govindji temple. This, because everyone sharing their memory, I'm sharing this memory of Srila Gurudev. It was amazing, wonderful time. Srila Gurudev used to speak 3 hours in Shri Govindji temple, Jaipur, Nalila. All Krishna pastimes, Braj pastimes. And in the evening session, in Radha Gopinath temple, Gaura Leela. So 3 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening. And there was no restriction. He was speaking, and couple of hundred of devotees attending those festivals, 5 days, 7 days festival. Once upon a time, not once upon a time, but couple of times, Srila Gurudev, while speaking Krishna pastimes, he got so emotional and was difficult to hold those tears. Speaking the separation of Radharani and the separation of Brajavasis, especially Yashoda Maiya. That scene I cannot forget. I was very new to Gurudev that time. While he was describing the pastime of Yashoda Maiya collecting some toys from the courtyard and keeping in her bag. And one of the Sakhi of Yashoda Maiya asked, Yashoda, are you going somewhere? She said, yes. I'm collecting those toys and I'm going to Devaki, Mathura, saying that Devaki, Krishna is not my son. Krishna is your son. And I'm here to serve in any way you want me to serve. I will sweep your courtyard. I will do all menial services just on one price. Let me see Krishna just once a day. And the moment Gurudev spoke this, his voice got choked. He closed his eyes and there was a pause. And everyone was just looking at Srila Gurudev. His face became totally red. He was holding those tears because he didn't want to show off his emotions. So he became quiet for 10 minutes speaking this pastime. Was not able to speak after this. Imagine what happens, pin drop silence. Just looking at him. Then Brahmachari started Mahamantra. And then Gurudev, in the sense that he came back to his consciousness because he was totally immersed in that mood of Vatsalya Ras. And when he opened his eyes, there was tears were there in his eyes and just started flowing. He wiped those tears and then he switched over to some other topic. In Vrindavan, anytime Srila Gurudev is even watching dramas, the best drama player in Vrindavan, what was his name? Shri Govind was very famous. He was his team. And they do Mahaprabhu Leela, Krishna Leela. So once upon a time, he was showing Mahaprabhu Leela. Srila Gurudev and all of so many devotees watching this. And when those players, when they are showing that Mahaprabhu took sannyas, and what's happening to Sachi Mata and Vishnu Priya Devi? Oh, Gurudev just put like this. We all watching, but we see from our perspective, everyone is kind of enjoying that, oh, Gaura Leela. But by seeing this, Gurudev, he get totally absorbed in that Gaura Leela. In that emotion, what Sachi Mata is going through. Seeing Nimai taking sannyas. While describing Gaura Leela, Krishna Leela, while seeing Gaura Leela, Krishna Leela, and even sometimes I saw he's chanting in his room, and his nails he go like this. That means he's thinking, and he started crying. Every time in the room with devotees or no one in the room, even if he's getting up after prasadam, he's saying Jai Gurudev. While he's lying down, Jai Gurudev. The prasadam which is cooked by Brahmachari for Srila Gurudev is already offered. Gurudev told his seva, don't bring me prasadam, before offering. You should offer and then bring to me. So it's already offered. But when Gurudev is about to take prasad, he chants some mantra, he offered. To whom he is offering, we don't know. Even though that's already offered to Krishna. Just assuming he must be offering to his Gurudev. But he never revealed. But he used to chant a mantra before he take prasad. Yona Prashad. So many times. And every action, while going bathroom, coming out, while getting up, Jai Gurudev. Always remembering his Guru Padma. And on the first day of Kartik Parikrama, we saw, while describing today, so many devotees are here for Kartik Parikrama. This is the glories of my Gurudev. Because of him, so many devotees are here. So giving all credit, showing as an acharya, as a disciple of his Guru Maharaj, of all dedication to Guru Padma, all credits to Guru Padma. Srila Gurudev's each and every step was so inspiring. And everyone said this. Radha Priya Devi said today, Sachin Prabhu also said, and it's 100% true. Everyone feeling I'm very special. Everyone felt that. On a couple of occasions when I was in hospital taking care of Srila Gurudev, actually he was taking care of me. It's true. It's not just I'm glorifying with voice, just words. Exactly that. He was taking care of me. And I was supposed to take care of him. Gurudev used to say, why don't you sleep? You fall sick. Every night you're not sleeping. I will change your duty. No need to come here anymore. So many times chastising. Go sleep. He was taking care of me. Taking care of sevakas for their health. He is not concerned about his health. So much affection. Very personal. One day I was sleeping, it was daytime, and it was not my shift, but I was sleeping and Srila Gurudev, he wanted something, he said, Hey Kripa Ram, my name was Krishna Kripa, so jokingly, Hey Kripa Ram, get up. Kripa Ram, get up. It's like, it got so personal. One time Madhav Prabhu was, we both were taking care of Srila Gurudev in Ajay Pilot's house in Gurgaon. Srila Gurudev had some surgery and he was on rest for 1 month there. So I was taking care of Srila Gurudev in night shift and Madhav Prabhu also was sleeping there. And Gurudev, he went to bathroom, he chanted his mantra and it was almost 6:30, 7 o'clock. Srila Gurudev was so personal. Hey Madhav, भोर बह गए हो अब तो उठ जा क्या बोलते No, भोर बह गए हो in Braj Bhasha. Sun has come. How long will you sleep? And he's just now. Acha, okay, sleep more. No, I'm getting up. Very personal. But as I told, in that personal relationship, one should not forget that he is Gurudev, he is not our friend. The respect have to be there. Because sometimes he gets so friendly that there is a possibility that we forget that actually he is Gurudev. I felt this. The way he started interacting, because we were in his room months and months, weeks and weeks, when he was recovering from his health. It's so personal. it's offensive to sit on the bed of Gurudev, right? While massaging him, he noticed this. We are not able to massage nicely because so much endeavors are there. Guru said, sit there. Why not sitting? Baith ja, baith ja. He allowed us to sit on his bed to serve him. Otherwise, it's very offensive. But he gave all permissions for that. We don't care spending money sometimes. Actually, I'm from very childhood, I'm very miser in spending money. But when Gurudev and Acharyas, when they show that they are miser, actually they are not misers. They are best donors. But they keep every single penny for the service of Krishna because they dedicated their whole life. And our Acharyas, Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj and others, they have seen, they heard how Gaudiya Math was financially so weak. So they gave importance to each and every single penny. And Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj and Srila Gurudev told, nowadays brahmacharis, they don't care. They don't care because they have seen everything. They have so much we have so much opulence now. So they don't care. But our acharyas, they have seen lot of difficult times when there was nothing. Shri Param Gurudev, as we heard from Srila Gurudev, there was not enough money to buy plates, paper plates to eat prasadam. He used to dig ground and put rice and just spinach, that's all, in the ground and eating. And after eating, smearing with mud, cleaning that area, that's all. Srila Gurudev, once upon a time, he was about to go for morning walk and his shirt got stuck in a handle, the handle of door. And it ripped. I said, oh, shirt is ripped. Bring the other shirt. The sevak brought other shirt, Deja Prabhu. And Guru said, get this stitch from the tailor. He said, yes, I will take care, don't worry, I will take care. And what he did? Sevak. He acted very smartly. How can Gurudev, he's Jagat Guru, he's wearing that stitched shirt, doesn't look nice. Everyone will see stitched part and threads. So what he did, he called one disciple of Gurudev, he's having cloth shop. Hey, Gurudev needs best cloth. Bring the cloth and bring the tailor. So everyone wants to serve Gurudev, right? They bought a new, fresh, very expensive cloth, and the tailor came and the sevak said, I want this shirt in just 3 hours. He said, no, how's possible? I said, I don't know anything. 3 hours, I'm giving you time. Because tomorrow morning, Maharajji, means Gurudev, when he go to walk, he's going to wear this shirt. So everything was done. He dyed cloths and kept there. Next morning, Gurudev is wearing, when he about to wear that shirt, he's saying, oh, very nice stitch. Can't even see any thread. So nicely done. I want to give blessings. Who done this? And he's laughing. He said, why are you laughing? He said, this is not that shirt. This is new one. He was expecting that Gurudev will glorify him and bless him for his smartness. And Gurudev hammered him. Shouted at him. Oh, you have so much money to waste. I don't have that much money to waste. रुपए का काम, only for 2 rupees. Anyone can do this, any tailor can do this. And you spend so much of my money. You think that's your money? Devotees giving us money for the service of Krishna. When devotees giving me donation, that's for the service of Krishna, not for my luxuries, not for my comforts. You wasted that money. I'm not going to wear that shirt. Bring me that ripped one. Say, no, it doesn't look nice. No, I will going to wear that. Very fond of spending money. Gurudev was so happy. It was a teaching, a lesson to everyone. But how many understand this? It depends on person to person. There was not enough money at the time of Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But still, Srila Prabhupada, he invited the Governor General of Britain, spending so much money. So much money. When there was financial crisis. Why? Is Srila Prabhupada following Mahaprabhu? Any doubt? Mahaprabhu don't want to see king. Mahaprabhu being sannyasi, he said, I don't want to see the king. King Prataprutra. I don't want to see king. Whereas Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur want to see the king. Means the Governor General, the representative of Britain who was ruling India, I want to bring him to Mayapur at any cost. Spend as much money as you can. If you don't have money, loan. Get loan. And he changed everyone's clothes. Suited. You see that picture?
Yeah.
Everyone is wearing. Srila Param Gurudev is there. Srila Bhakti Lastit Goswami and all of our acharyas. Suited, putted. Welcoming the king in Mayapur now. And it's written, God bless the king. How we can digest this? Mahaprabhu said, seeing a king, a sannyasi is not supposed to see a king. Hanta vish bhakshan api chahiye. Never see a materialistic person. King is materialistic. But Srila Prabhupada wanted to see king for the service of Mahaprabhu. Because if Sir George Anderson, his name, if he come and visit Shri Mayapur Dham, the news will be spread everywhere in the entire world. It will be in BBC, start from London, Britain. And it will be here and there, everywhere in the whole world. And everyone will come to know, what is that? Mayapur Dham. What is this place? The birthplace of Mahaprabhu. Everyone will come to know about Mahaprabhu. We see our acharyas who can do all miracles. But still, they are so humble, they never showing off, they can deliver the whole universe. Because human-like pastime, not associate-like pastime. As Krishna is Supreme Lord, manifesting human-like pastime. So they are associates of Krishna. They are not playing associate-like pastime. They are playing also human-like pastime. For us, sadhakas, to learn how we have to give importance and respect to each and every belonging we have and engage them in the service of Krishna. Spending, okay, Krishna bless us with money. That means you just want to spend here and there. That's the energy of Krishna. Every single money is there to serve Krishna. So much we can do with this money. So much. Shri Jagbandhu Prabhu was the one, was very wealthy businessman in Calcutta. who met Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and understood his vision. A very wealthy person. He understood the vision and said, he is sadhu, Prabhupada is sadhu. And he wanted to give something to Srila Prabhupada in return of accepting Diksha from him. And he said, Srila Prabhupada, how can I serve you? Srila Prabhupada said, you think yourself. So he is the one who purchased that land in the heart of the city, the posh area in Calcutta. Sripad Bhajans Glories. He purchased that land, he built the center. And he offered to Srila Prabhupada. And mission started from there. Sometimes I meet some devotees saying, now I'm old. It's retirement. I don't want to work anymore. Then what do you want to do? Sit back home, I will read and chant. It's not my instruction, or I'm no one to say because I don't know what's going to happen to me when I get old. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Ji, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj and all our acharyas, they started their mission when it was the time of retirement. And we think we got old and there's nothing to do now. No responsibility. That's not our mission. Contribute to the mission. Gurudev always said this. Contribute to the mission of Mahaprabhu, whatever qualification you have, and Krishna bless you, whatever qualification you have. I earned a lot of money in my life. My 3 generations can eat without work. No need to work anymore. I have enough money. That means you're only focusing on your generations. You earning money only for yourself. Why can't we just earn for Krishna? I work 5 hours a day. I will work 7 hours, and that 2 hours of my additional work, I will serve the mission of Mahaprabhu. In a bona fide way, wherever I see the mission is flourishing, they need some finance, I can afford to do it there. Why we start thinking we can't do? Why? With body, with mind, with wealth. So many came forward to support Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada and Srila Swami Maharaj and all other acharyas. They came. And Srila Bharati Goswami Maharaj used to say, giving money means giving your energy. Is that easy to earn money? No, you have to spend so much energy there. So that energy, for 1 hour, I earned $100. I offered that $100 to someone. I gave my 1 hour energy in the service of Krishna. I'm not giving dollar there. I mean by giving my energy. So I don't need to work anymore because I have enough money. So brahmachari and sannyasi can also think, and there is no need to travel here and there. I just better stay in Vrindavan. I concentrate on my chanting and reading. It's so nice to be there in Vrindavan. Temples everywhere, parikrama every day. Yeah. I can chant 64 rounds. There's so many books to read. What's the need to travel and inspire everyone? If I start thinking like this, I'll be selfish. I'm only thinking about myself, my kutumba, my family. How about Krishna family? This is something very important. Because finally everything to be offered to Krishna. Therefore 11th canto Bhagavatam say Itat eva sashya kartavya guru yadva vishuddh bhavena sarva art arpanam guru. Disciple of, definition of bona fide disciple explained by Krishna. Itat Pitadeva Sashishya. The symptoms of bona fide Guru is also mentioned. Tasman Guru At. Yeah?
Prapadeta.
Huh?
Tasmad Guru Prapadeta.
Tasman Guru Prapat. And the definition of bona fide disciple is also there. Pitadeva Sashishya Kartamya Guru Nishkritam Yadva Vishuddhavena Sarva Art. One who with Vishuddhavena, pure heart, Sarva Art Arpanam Guru, offer oneself and also offer one's possessions. Gurudev, I can give myself to you but not possessions. That's for my family. No. Everything. Not that 100%. We have to take care of our family, be practical. But something have to be contributed to the mission of Mahaprabhu in a bona fide way where I can see my energy is being utilized nicely for higher purpose. So there is no retirement. There will be retirement when it will be rest in peace. That's retirement. This is what I'm understanding and getting inspiring. Don't know what's going to happen to me when I get old. But I beg and pray to Srila Gurudev and all Vaishnavas till last breath. I want to serve your divine lotus feet to the last breath. This is only what I pray to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. I'm not a very small insect, it's a little bug. I'm not a pure devotee, very honestly. But I have high aspirations. I really want to serve. And Srila Gurudev give qualifications. There will be no time. Because of my limitation, I want to sleep. I sleep a lot. I get tired. But I want to work more hard. Because it's a fun getting all this information about Radha Tattva and so many details in depth of Gaudiya philosophy is very pleasing to ears. But more we get, more we have to pay. In 3-star hotel, you pay less. In 5-star hotel, you pay more. In Okeechobee, you pay less. According to facilities, right? We are getting so much facilities of hearing so much. Guru Tattva, Gaur Tattva, Radha Tattva. Who's giving us? Gurudev. More we are hearing, more we have to pay. Now don't think I should stop hearing now because I have to pay more. No, we have to pay. Pay means contribute. Contribute. In India there is a saying, अगर धन सेवा में नहीं लगाओगे तो वो काला कोट और सफेद कोट में खर्च हो जाएगा. How to say this in English?
Lawyer.
If you don't spend your money in the service of Krishna, that's just a general saying, it's not Shastras, please. If you don't spend your money, if you have money, and Krishna has given you money, if you don't spend in the service of Krishna, then money will be spent in lawyers and doctors. It has to go anywhere. Lawyers and doctors. So better. Like devotees come to Kartik Parikrama, Navdeep Parikrama, and they have money. Want to give donation to Gurudev. They wanted to give, but they're waiting for the last day. When we will leave, we'll give donation to Gurudev. And what happened? Pickpocket. Gone. So many devotees tell, And Gurudev used to laugh. Oh, तो पहले क्यों नहीं दे दिया? Gurudev said, why you didn't offer me the first day? So Krishna took. Now there's another consideration. That Acharya who's asking money for project, he is not good one. And one who says, I don't touch money, yeah, that's good. That means my projection. Oh, I think better. But I'm not authority to decide. You know? Why Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada was sending his devotees with boxes hanging on their neck, Param Gurudev. Why there is no offering?
Not ready.
Hmm?
It's not ready.
So Param Gurudev and all other our workers, they were collecting money. Srila Gurudev himself, he used to go out 4 times Harikatha, 5 times Harikatha, house programs. But it's not for money. They are gross and subtle. It's for preaching the mission. Nobody knew the glories of Gaudiya philosophy in Braj Mandal. In Mathura. Srila Gurudev introduced this. So much endeavors. Nobody was stepping in our temple, Shri Keshavji Gaudiya Math, saying this is Bengali temple. They know how to do magic. They will make you a goat if you enter in that temple. Black magic. Yes, that was a system, that was a rumors. The Bengali temple. And Srila Gurudev, he started this mission, house to house, door to door, spreading the glories of Radha. Those Brajvasis who are born in Braj, they know glories of Braj. So not that Srila Gurudev in Western world or Eastern world, but even in Braj, what is the glories of Braj to Brajvasis? This is what Srila Gurudev spread it, the glories of Braj. And therefore, he got this title, what? Yuga Acharya. Yuga Acharya means Acharya of millennium. Because he is the one who initiated and he came forward openly describing the mission of Krishna and describing the mission of Mahaprabhu, spreading the mission of Bhakti Thakur, Srila Prabhupada and everyone. Gaur Premanande. What's time now? 9?
Cow.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hari Hari Bo.
Always use some of the devotees.
Hare Krishna.